Something huge just happened inside Team USA, and almost nobody saw it coming. One quiet announcement, one simple roster reveal, and suddenly, the entire landscape of women's basketball feels like it's shifting beneath our feet. Because this wasn't just a list of names for a December training camp. It was a message. A bold, unmistakable signal that the people running American basketball are ready to break from tradition and build something entirely new. And the players they're choosing to build around say everything about where the future is heading and who might get left behind. For years, the national team system moved slowly, almost cautiously, relying on experience, seniority, and a familiar rotation of veterans who had earned their stripes. But this latest decision feels different. It feels like the door that used to open inch by inch just got kicked wide open for a new generation. The kind of moment where you stop, look at the names, and realize this isn't evolution. This is a full-on transformation. And the craziest part? It didn't come with a dramatic press conference or a huge announcement. It slipped out quietly, almost casually. But once people started reading between the lines, everything exploded. Fans, players, analysts, everyone suddenly understood the same thing. Team USA is no longer waiting for the next era to arrive. They're building it right now, from the ground up. And the players getting these invitations are the ones they believe can carry American basketball into its next decade. But the deeper story isn't just about who got selected. It's about why they were chosen, what this new direction signals, and how this one training camp could reshape the future of the WNBA, the Olympics, and the entire global landscape of women's basketball. And once you see the full picture, everything starts to make a lot more sense. Team USA didn't just hand out invitations, they made statements. Because when the list came out, everyone immediately noticed the headline names, the young stars who have been dominating conversations, merchandise charts, and social media feeds. Caitlin Clark? She's in. Paige Bueckers? She's there too, stepping on to the senior national stage with the spotlight already ready for her. And then there's JuJu Watkins, the explosive talent whose rise has been almost impossible to ignore. Add in Angel Reese, Brink, and Aaliyah Boston, and suddenly the roster looks like a highlight reel of the sport's future. These aren't names representing the next wave. They are the wave. But as fans celebrated those selections, a different reaction quietly spread across the WNBA's older guard: silence. Because for every rising star getting the call, a veteran somewhere noticed their phone wasn't ringing this time. Sure, a few experienced players like Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young will be at camp, but even they aren't the focus anymore. The promotional push around this announcement didn't center on established champions. It spotlighted the young stars, the ones who sell out arenas and rewrite viewership records. It's not just who made the list, it's who didn't. And the message behind those missing names is impossible to ignore. This camp is no longer about rewarding years of service or keeping the same core intact for one more run. It's about choosing the players who can define what women's basketball becomes, not what it used to be. And if this is how Team USA sets the tone, then what comes next will shake the hierarchy even more. Because this roster is only the beginning, and the decisions get tougher from here. What this invitation list really reveals is a strategy shift that's been building beneath the surface for years. In the past, Team USA leaned on experience, the players who had already proven themselves in gold medal moments. But now, the criteria look completely different. Potential has become just as valuable as resume, and star power, the kind that reaches phones, feeds, and global audiences, suddenly matters just as much as a championship trophy. This new roster direction feels intentional, not accidental. It's like the leadership looked at the international landscape and realized something. The future belongs to the teams who evolve faster. Other countries are developing young superstars, building chemistry early, and designing systems to peak years ahead. Team USA isn't waiting for the rest of the world to close the gap. They're speeding into a new generation before anyone else can catch up. And the players selected show exactly what kind of future they're building toward. More versatility, more athleticism, more players who can stretch the floor, defend anywhere, and keep up with a pace that only gets faster every season. But just as importantly, they're choosing athletes who understand that modern basketball is more than what happens between the lines. These are stars who know how to command a camera, connect with fans, and create global moments the second the ball leaves their hands. The message behind this camp is clear-cut. The days of slow transitions and gradual handoffs are over. Team USA has begun constructing a roster not for the next tournament, but for the next decade. And if this is the blueprint, the foundation of everything that comes next has already been poured.
But the most eye-opening part of this strategy becomes obvious when you zoom in on specific players. Because some of these young stars weren't just invited to fill spots, they were chosen to lead. And that shift changes the entire power structure dramatically. There are always great players, but every once in a while, a few come along who feel destined to change the sport entirely. And that's exactly why these names stand out. Team USA isn't just inviting talent, they're inviting the players who already bend the conversation around them every time they take the floor. Take Caitlin Clark. Her presence alone shifts the energy in any arena. You feel it the moment she crosses midcourt, the anticipation, the cameras lifting, the buzz building because everyone knows something crazy might happen in the next 2 seconds. She doesn't just score points, she creates moments, the kind that turn casual viewers into diehard fans. Team USA sees more than a shooter. They see someone who can command the global spotlight and make millions care about women's basketball in one instant. Then there's Paige Bueckers, a player whose poise under pressure feels almost unnatural. She plays like she's been here before, even though this is still just the beginning of her international journey. Paige brings a calm intensity, a killer instinct wrapped in a smile, and a style that makes basketball look effortless. Her ability to control a game could become one of Team USA's secret weapons in tight international battles. Nothing rattles her. And JuJu Watkins? She's the kind of rising force that makes defenders pray for help. Explosive, confident, and fearless in the biggest moments. Even now, you can see the superstar blueprint taking shape, a player who's only scratching the surface of what she'll eventually become. Team USA isn't waiting for that development to happen, they're accelerating it. Angel Reese brings fire, swagger, and a competitive edge that never switches off. Brink brings length, timing, and defensive instincts perfectly built for the international game. Aaliyah Boston anchors the paint with power, consistency, and the kind of leadership that earns instant respect. None of these players were invited just because they're good. They were invited because they move the crowd. They define culture. They make people talk. Team USA looked at the next generation and pulled the athletes who can play at the highest level and make the world pay attention while they do it. But when young stars rise this fast, it always creates shockwaves, especially for the players who once believed their spots were secure. And that's where things get complicated, because this future-focused strategy comes with a cost for the veterans who helped build Team USA's past. For years, certain names were considered untouchable, staples of Team USA, automatic selections whose careers were almost defined by international success. But that era is fading fast, because as the spotlight shifts to the rising stars, the veterans are suddenly facing a reality they never expected this soon. The next generation isn't waiting their turn, they're taking it. The silence after the roster announcement spoke louder than any reaction. Some respected players who once headlined Team USA promotions watched a new wave of talent step into the spotlight they used to own. And when the congratulatory posts didn't come from certain veterans, fans noticed. The body language online told a story no press release would ever reveal. Frustration, uncertainty, and maybe even a little bit of fear. Not officially confirmed, of course, but it's clear that the hierarchy has shifted. For years, you needed long resumes, championships, playoff runs, years of proving yourself before earning these opportunities. Now, players with just 1 or 2 seasons are getting invites ahead of names that helped bring home gold medals. It's the kind of change that forces everyone to reevaluate their place in the system. Some veterans built their careers around Team USA. The medals, the exposure, the endorsement deals that followed. Those moments defined their status in the league. But with younger stars stepping into those roles earlier than ever, the path that once looked guaranteed
now feels crowded with competition. It's not personal, it's evolution. Basketball is moving at lightning speed, faster than some players ever expected. And when a new generation rises this quickly, the harsh truth is that someone always gets pushed aside. But the emotional fallout isn't the whole story. There's a deeper engine driving these decisions, one that goes beyond scoring averages and defensive ratings. Because in today's world, the future of a national team isn't just built on wins, it's built on global impact. And that's where everything changes next. There's a reason this new direction feels so bold, because it isn't just driven by basketball, it's driven by the booming business surrounding the sport. Women's basketball isn't the niche corner of athletics it once was. It's global now. It's trending. It's selling out arenas, dominating headlines, and pulling in audiences that networks used to only dream of. And the players leading that surge aren't the veterans from yesterday. They're the stars of right now.
Team USA knows that medals matter, but so does momentum. They want athletes who can win games and attract viewers from all over the world. The kind of players who make fans rearrange their schedules just to watch tip-off. The kind who generate excitement simply by stepping on the court. You can see it in the way young stars engage online. They don't need scripted campaigns or marketing departments writing captions. Their brand is built naturally through the fans who follow them. Every viral highlight, every interaction, every clip turned into a meme fuels a connection that goes far beyond the scoreboard. It's real, it's emotional, it's powerful. And that's where this roster shift becomes bigger than basketball strategy. Team USA is positioning itself to become a global entertainment force. Networks want games featuring these rising stars. Sponsors want faces who drive new audiences. International fans want someone they can latch onto instantly, someone whose name they already know before the anthem even plays. Choosing the future over the past isn't just a competitive move, it's a business model. Because the world is watching women's basketball like never before. New fans are arriving every day, many discovering the sport through the personalities and stories of these young players. Team USA wants to capture that energy and turn it into a lasting dynasty. Not just of winning, but of worldwide influence. Which means this December training camp isn't just about evaluating jump shots and defensive rotations. It's about testing who can handle the spotlight that comes with representing America on the biggest stage in sports history. And the urgency only grows from here, because the next massive international showdown is already closer than anyone realizes. This December camp isn't a friendly meetup or a casual skills check. It's the opening act of a pressure-filled audition, one that will determine who gets to represent the United States when the lights are brightest and the world is watching. Because once the new year hits, the clock starts ticking toward the next two major international battles, the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. That's not years away in the distance, that's right around the corner. International competition demands chemistry. It demands trust. It demands a group that doesn't just play well individually, they move like they've been preparing for this moment their entire lives. And that kind of chemistry isn't built overnight. It starts now, in a 3-day gauntlet at Duke University, where every drill, every scrimmage, every leadership moment will be evaluated under a microscope. Team USA can't afford slow development or late roster adjustments. Other countries are getting better fast. They're preparing squads with talent growing together right now. America is staying ahead by pulling future stars into the fire early, giving them time to learn international styles, adapt to different rules, and build bonds that will carry into those gold medal games. Every player walking into this camp knows what's at stake. One great performance could launch them into international stardom. One off day could shut the door before the journey even begins. Careers can change here, futures decided in the span of 3 intense days. This is where the separation happens. This is where roles are defined. And for the players being groomed as the face of Team USA's next era, the pressure is unlike anything they've felt yet. Because this time, they're not just representing themselves or their franchise, they're auditioning to carry an entire nation's legacy. And the deeper you look into what this camp leads to, the picture becomes even clearer. The foundation of Team USA's future dynasty is being built right now in real time. But the impact doesn't stop at the international level. The ripple effects are already heading straight toward the WNBA. What's happening right now doesn't just change Team USA, it changes everything connected to women's basketball. Fans are witnessing a passing of the torch in real time, and the excitement around this shift is impossible to ignore. Younger audiences are already rallying behind these rising stars, treating every game like a cultural event. And if this new generation becomes the face of the national team, that hype only grows bigger, global even. For players, the stakes are just as intense. Veterans are fighting to hold on to roles they've spent years defending, while younger athletes are being fast-tracked into positions of leadership that can define their entire careers. Every spot on the roster suddenly feels more valuable. Every practice becomes a chance to prove you belong in the new era, not just as a participant, but as a centerpiece. And the sport itself? This transition has the potential to launch women's basketball into heights it has never seen before. More mainstream attention, more sponsorship money, more packed arenas around the world. The national team is a billboard, a powerful showcase for the greatest talent America has to offer. The players chosen now could become global icons by the time the 2028 Olympics arrive on home soil. But with massive opportunity comes massive pressure. This generation isn't just stepping into a spotlight, they're expected to expand it, to bring in new fans, to redefine what dominance looks like, to make women's basketball not only respected, but impossible to ignore.
The future is incredibly bright, but also unforgiving. Decisions made in this moment will echo for years. Some legends may fade earlier than expected. Some rising stars may become household names faster than anyone thought possible. And fans, whether they love the change or fear it, will have front-row seats to one of the biggest transformations the sport has ever experienced. One thing is undeniable: the direction is set. Team USA is accelerating into a new age, and the entire world is watching what happens next. This moment isn't just about one camp, one roster, or one rising star earning an invitation. It's the official beginning of a new chapter, a bold rewrite of what American dominance in women's basketball looks like. For decades, Team USA built its success on experience and familiarity. But now, they're building with speed, with star power, with the kind of players who can lead a dynasty and electrify the world in the same breath. The message is loud and clear. The future isn't coming someday, it's already here. And with names like Clark, Bueckers, Watkins, Reese, Brink, and Boston stepping into the picture, the next era isn't just promising, it might be unstoppable. But transitions like this always come with consequences. Which veterans will fight their way back into the spotlight? Who gets left behind as the new faces rise? And how will these decisions reshape the battles waiting next season in the WNBA, where pride, roster spots, and personal legacies are on the line? That answer starts unfolding the second this camp begins. So now it's your turn. Do you think Team USA made the right move by fast-tracking the new generation? Or should proven veterans still hold those top spots? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear exactly where you stand in this generational shift. Because one thing is certain, this story isn't over, and the choices being made right now will define women's basketball for years to come. Stay locked in, because the future is already taking the court.